Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar today on how to get money for a credit repair business. I'm glad that you found time to join us today. It looks like we've got a lot of people attending because there's never a lack of people that want to know how to get money for their business. And that's what we're going to be diving into today. Today it's going to be probably an eye-opening day for you because if you're thinking about starting a credit repair business, if you own a credit repair business, you're probably going to be floored, shocked, surprised to realize that there's actually considerable funding options available for you right now to get money for your business. And that's what we're really going to be diving into today. Now, let me first introduce myself. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my backstory. My name is Ty Crandall. I'm the Director of Business Credit Services here at CreditSuite. And I'm a long-time credit repair owner. I owned a credit repair shop. I owned it, built it from the ground up. Took me about 4 years to do. And I am one of few people you'll probably ever hear from who actually has built and sold a successful credit repair business. That's what I was actually able to accomplish. And in large part, I did so because of my incorporation with Business Credit. We built the business from the ground up. Did very well, made it very successful, but we still seem to miss that one missing component. When we plugged business credit into our model, it radically changed our business. We increased our profits significantly, and on top of that, we also doubled the credit repair side of our business just because we had incorporated the business credit. We had so many more people that wanted to do business with us just because they thought we were so much more credible because we had business credit services, and to them it made sense that we were working to fix their credit to get them funding. So we doubled our credit repair business, and we brought in significant revenue with the business credit. And that's in large part how I was able to actually sell the business. Now, in doing so, it was very eye-opening. I learned some things. When I was exposed to business credit, I started realizing that you could get funding for a credit repair business. I actually was pre-qualified for almost $500,000 in funding, and I'll dive into that a little bit later, tell you how that happened. But it was shocked. I was floored because I had built a company from the ground up with the profits of the company, right? I dumped in my own personal money. I relied on the company producing profits. And when the company produced profits, that's what we reinvested in the company to be able to advertise, market, those type of things. I never in my wildest dreams had thought that there was sources of money that were out there that were available for my business. Because I was in credit repair, but they were. And that's where I wanted to do a webinar today, because in talking to a lot of people, I talked to a lot of credit repair owners that have the exact same problem I did. They're trying to grow the business, but because they don't have a lot of extra money to spend, they're not able to advertise, they're not able to market, they're not able to promote, they're not able to really take their business to the next level. If you've ever been to one of our credit repair boot camps, you probably have asked around and found the same thing. I would always go to the boot camps as a credit repair owner, and I always ask one question. And my goal was to ask that one question to every person that attended. And my one question was, how do you market? How do you advertise? I'm a marketing guy, so I'm interested to know what other credit repair owners were doing. And you know what? Every single person I talked to told me the same thing. We get our business from affiliates. We get our business from affiliates. And in talking to them more, a lot of us had the same problem. There just wasn't enough extra money to throw around to throw into a lot of advertising and marketing, and that was why so many CROs or credit repair owners tend to rely on getting business from affiliates. So again, today what I'm really going to do is jump in here and get into exactly how you can get money for your credit repair business, the kind of funding that's available, the kind of funding you can qualify for, and most importantly, where you can go to get the funding, those type of things. So we're going to jump into some of this today. Let me go ahead and get started. First of all, let me talk about the problem at hand. Many banks consider credit repair companies as too high of a risk to lend money to. Okay, you might have already been exposed to this. You might have already dealt with this in some way or form. I know I did. The places I was exposed to it, first of all, started with merchant accounts. I had a very, very difficult time getting merchant accounts for my credit repair company because, they considered the business credit to be high risk, and as a result, they wouldn't approve me for merchant accounts. Well, I finally got merchant accounts, and I had perfect history because I was so scared about losing them, no chargebacks, those type of things, and I would get them shut down. So what would happen? I mean, it was so frustrating because what would happen is my merchant processor would tell me, look, our bank thinks your industry is high risk. So even though you've had perfect history with us, we have to let you go because our bank will no longer deal with credit repair companies. And this happened to me all the time. I mean, literally, I was probably dealing with that at least 1 to 2 times a year, where I would basically have to get a new merchant account provider because even though I had perfect history, I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions we were doing, and at most we'd ever have maybe 1 chargeback. I mean, it was so ridiculously low of a percentage you couldn't even measure it. But still, because they wouldn't lend to credit repair, or because they didn't want to deal with the industry, they looked at it as too high risk, they wouldn't help me. I had the same problem with a bank account. Okay, I actually had my own bank shut down my account because of the industry. It was crazy. I opened up a secondary account at Wachovia because of these problems with banks not liking credit repair. I wanted to make sure I was protected if anything ever happened to my primary bank account. So sure enough, at the time it was Wachovia. I opened up another account with them. I had it open for months. I ran some money through it, and then out of the blue I get a notice saying they're shutting it down. I contact them. I go in. I talk to my personal banker. I have many accounts for many businesses there, personal accounts. They said, sorry, we just don't deal with credit repair anymore. So more than likely, those of you on the call, especially if you're in credit repair, you know what I'm saying. You're nodding your head. You're relating. You're like, yeah, I understand. They look at credit repair as high risk when in reality it's really not high risk. And I won't get into the FTC and how all that goes, how far all that goes back. But the bottom line is that a lot of banks consider credit repair companies as too high of a risk to lend money to. So because of that concern, most conventional banks won't lend to CROs, to credit repair owners. And when I'm talking about a conventional bank, I'm talking about your Bank of Americas, your PNC banks, your Wells Fargo banks, you know, your Chase. I'm talking about your main conventional banks. A lot of those conventional banks out there, they're not going to lend to you. If you've ever walked into them and asked, they'll tell you, we don't deal with credit repair. We don't deal with high risk. Most conventional banks only deal with low-risk lending. So when they're dealing with something where they look at the industry as high risk, most of those conventional banks aren't going to lend money. And that's kind of part of the problem right there, because most people are trained to go to their banks to get money. And if you go to your bank and they say no, then the next question is, well, where else do you go? And most people's answer is nowhere. They don't know where else to go. You know, if their bank says no, they have no clue where else to go. And that's one of the biggest problems right now is that conventional banks just aren't lending to credit repair owners, and most credit repair owners then don't know where to go. Most credit unions also won't lend us to credit repair owners, and it's near impossible to even get an SBA loan as a credit repair business owner because SBA in a lot of times will guarantee or insure part of the loan. And, you know, even the SBA has some problems with credit repair. So now you've got, you know, most conventional banks are using SBA products. You've got to qualify with SBA. You've got to qualify with the bank's guidelines. And if the SBA doesn't deal with high-risk industries and they look at credit repair as high risk, well, then that's the problem. You can't get money from those sources. And this is where most people give up. This is why I have so many people on the webinar today, because most people they say, what are you talking about, getting money for a credit repair business? I've tried. It doesn't work. They don't lend because of the high risk of the industry. And you're right. Most conventional banks just absolutely will not do that. But there still is money available. I mean, even though most conventional sources won't lend to credit repair owners, money is still vastly available if you know where to look. This is what opened up my eyes. You know, I got plugged in and was blessed, was lucky enough to be in the first beta test of CreditSuite's business credit product, okay? I didn't mention that in my intro. I guess I told you my past, but I didn't tell you when I sold my credit repair business, I came in here to CreditSuite to run our business credit division to help everybody have that same kind of success with business credit. And that was what surprised me, is when I got my hands on this product and I realized how many funding sources there were out there. It really, really, really was a vast amount. There's actually a vast amount of available funding. It's just the key is you have to know where to look. And the problem is most of you on this call, even your customers for their own businesses, people just don't know where to look to get money. I mean, that's the problem. I can tell you, I've spent 14 years of my life in finance. I live and breathe money. I understand how to broker money. I brokered, oh man, I'd say every bit of over $200 million in deals I've brokered. Okay, so I'm very, very familiar with that. And I'll tell you that if I don't know where to look, if you don't know where to look, then a layperson isn't going to know where to look either. And this is the problem. There is money vastly available. Most people just don't know where to look. Loans, cash advances, credit lines, business credit, and a lot more sources are currently available for credit repair owners. Okay, so let's take a look at one of them being business credit. Now, if you've attended one of my webinars before, some of these slides here, 3, 4 of them might look familiar. I always like to give people a little bit of a basic idea of what business credit is, because a lot of people just don't know, and if you do kind of know, a little bit of a refresher isn't going to hurt you. It'll only take a couple minutes. Now, if you're not familiar with what business credit is, we're talking about credit that's obtained in a business name. Okay, so with business credit, the business builds its own credit profile and score, and with an established credit profile and score, the business qualifies for credit. Okay, now a lot of people hear business credit and they instantly think credit repair. They say, what is this, repair for businesses? No, it's not anything of the sort. What business credit is you're obviously familiar with consumer credit. Most people on the call fix consumer credit. Well, just like an individual could build a credit report in their personal name, a business can do the exact same thing. A business can go out, can get accounts, can pay it as agreed, can establish credit, can get a credit profile built, can get a credit score built, and that profile and score can actually help that business qualify for credit cards, loans, cash advances, auto vehicle leasing, even commercial real estate. So really the same things a consumer can do with the consumer credit profile, a business can also do for itself. And that's what business credit is it's the establishment of a credit profile and credit score for a business that's independent of the business owner's credit profile. Now this is credit in the business name, and it's based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's. So since the business qualifies for the credit, in some cases there's no personal credit check required from the business owner. Look, let's be realistic. This is why most of us are interested in business credit. I owned a credit repair company. That's why I was interested, because my clients had credit problems, but they owned businesses and they needed money. And that's where business credit's a great solution, because when business credit's done properly, a business can get credit cards, can get all the stuff without the personal credit even being looked at. So it was of great help to our clients, because our clients suffered from credit problems. So for them to have the ability to go in and build a credit profile for their business that was beautiful, that was exceptional, that was perfect, and then use that perfect credit profile to go out and get money was a massive benefit to them. And anybody in credit repair, this is really one of the biggest reasons your clients would benefit from business credit. But again, you as a credit repair owner can also benefit because they don't care about industry. Okay, and that's why we're talking about it. You could build business credit. You could get credit cards at Staples and Walmart and Costco and Office Depot and all these places. You could even get Visa, MasterCards without them even caring about your industry or personal credit in a lot of cases. Okay, now, business can use that credit to do what I just said, qualify for cards like Staples, Lowe's, Walmart, Costco, Visa, MasterCard, American Express. This is the goal of business credit, is to get credit in the business name where they could get credit cards at stores, even get Visa, MasterCards they could use anywhere, but there's no personal credit check to get this money. There's also no personal guarantee in a lot of cases, which we'll talk about in just a second. So the business can qualify for credit lines, loans, all those type of funding that we talked about. Now, obviously, you already know the benefits of what business credit could do for you and your client. I mean, you're building a credit profile that's completely separate from the business owner's personal credit profile. Okay, so that really gives the business owner double the borrowing power, because they got a personal credit profile built and a business credit profile built. Okay, also, business credit scores are based only on whether the business pays its bills on time. So it's much faster to use business credit profile or build one than it is a personal. Okay, we all know personal credit takes time. I mean, it takes years of well-disciplined borrowing to really establish a good personal credit score. You can't even get a personal credit score of anything until you have trade lines reporting for 6 months. So, it's tough to get a good personal score. You got to have the right credit mix. You have to have the right amount of, a positive payment history. You have to have the right balance of what balances and limits you have on your credit cards. You got to manage your inquiries. There's 5 factors that affect the consumer scores, and a lot of those, like credit mix, like length of time in the credit bureau, or the credit bureaus have you on record. That stuff's hard to control. Okay, so because it's so hard to control, it's very tough for people to quickly build exceptional personal credit scores and profiles. Business isn't that way. Business credit really is kind of the way we all wish it would, what personal credit was. It's only based on how the person pays. If they pay their bills on time, they have a good score. If they pay late, they have a bad score, how bad their score is depends on how late they are. That's pretty much how business credit scores work. So all somebody has to do to get a good business credit score is just get some trades that report to the business credit reporting agencies, and as long as you paid them on time, you instantly have a great score. Okay, so because of this, it's so much faster for a business owner to build business credit than it is consumer. Okay, a business can come in and build an exceptional business credit profile and score in 90 days. That could never be done in the consumer world. It's impossible to do that. Okay, but in the business world, it can be done, and that's one of the biggest benefits of business credit. Okay, another benefit is when done correctly, it can be done without a personal credit check and without a personal guarantee. That's it. You're looking at it. You're looking at the two reasons why 90% of people get into business credit. They want to build it because they have credit problems and they need to get around that, so they do it for that reason. The other part of them does it because they want to eliminate their personal liability. That's why they do it. I'll add a third reason here. Why you want to do it is because you're a credit repair owner. And a lot of banks won't lend money to you, but a lot of merchants like Staples or Walmart or Costco or even the Visas and MasterCards will give you money. Okay, they will give you money if you've got a good business credit bill, and this is going to be money you're going to have without having personal liability. Even if you've got credit problems, this is money you can get. So that's why I'm spending a little bit of time on this very first funding option I'm talking to you about, because this is a great option for anybody that owns a credit repair company, because no matter what you're dealing with, when you go into a bank, they're going to look at you as high risk. But you could build business credit without it being high risk and still get considerable money for your business in doing so. Okay, so it's definitely a great funding solution that you want to look into. Okay, most major merchants do offer business credit. Okay, whether they advertise it or not. You've probably never walked into Walmart ever. Well, let me take that back. You have never, I'm going to remove the probably, you've never walked into Walmart and ever seen them advertise that they have credit for a business with no liability, but they do. Most of them typically do. So you can get approved at Staples, Office Depot, Lowe's, Home Depot, Shell, BP, Costco, and more. And these are awesome help in the credit repair business, because I'll tell you what, I spent hundreds of dollars a month on paper, just paper alone at Staples. Just printing dispute letters, we spent hundreds a month on paper. Okay, so to be able to have credit with Staples, credit with Office Depot, credit with Walmart, gas cards, that kind of stuff is a massive, massive benefit for you. Because what it does is it helps give you leverage. Instead of going in and taking, a $200 out of your business banking checking account to pay for the paper, you could easily put it on the Staples account and pay it over time if you needed to. That would give you $200 extra, for example, to use for advertising or marketing. It's just about leveraging your business the right way, leveraging the money that's available to you to be able to grow your business. And that's what this kind of credit can help you do. You can even get approved for high-limit credit cards, $10,000 plus. Business credit is much easier to do this than consumer, right? You do not see a lot of consumers with $10,000 plus credit cards. It takes time to get there. I've been there. Okay, I've had $50,000 plus credit cards. My wife and I used to compete with how high our limits we could get approved for. You've got to have ridiculously good credit, and in order to get at that level, you've got to show on the report you're spending money. High-end car loans, high-end mortgages, and a lot of people that get that have $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000, but it takes that level to get it. Now, in the business credit world, even the small player can start getting approved for limits of $10,000 or plus. And let's all be honest here. I mean, if you got $10,000 at Dell, how much would that help you? How much easier would it make you to grow your business if you could hire 5 brand new team members and not have to pay out of pocket for their brand new computers? Or getting all your supplies at Staples or whatever it may be, or having Visas or MasterCards you could use for any reason. Okay, this is a huge, huge benefit for you. So this is why you want to build business credit. Look, anybody would love to have credit cards, $10,000 plus limits at stores and Visa, MasterCard without the liability. And that's what you can get even being in a high-risk industry. You can even get multiple Visa, MasterCard, American Express accounts and continue increasing limits. It's crazy with business accounts. Crazy. You get a few of these cards, it's very easy and very quick that you start seeing your limits raised, okay, because they almost compete with each other. It's really weird. You know, you put a Wells Fargo account and a Bank of America account on your credit, you know, they'll almost compete with each other. You go to Bank of America to get your limit raised, they see you've got a business account with Wells Fargo, they'll come in and raise your limit just because they want to beat the other one. So very competitive in the business credit world, and that's where it's great because you can get multiple of these kind of accounts, and they almost compete against each other in increasing your limits. Okay, credit cards are also available for business owners who have good credit. Okay, so what I'm talking about now is something that blew my mind. I didn't know this. When I got access to our funding suite, I was pre-qualified for up to $150,000 in unsecured credit cards. That's insane. I didn't know you could do that, but you absolutely can. If you do have good personal credit outside of business credit, if you have good consumer personal credit, then you can also get high-limit credit cards for your business also. Okay. Credit limits on these kind of accounts are typically $10,000 or more. We see our clients get approved for $10,000, $15,000 limits plus. Okay, a credit repair business owner can get as much as $150,000 in these type of accounts. Okay, and credit cards come with check writing capability and are linked to a debit card. So it kind of works like a home equity line of credit. You know, you have a credit card, you've got a debit card, and with all of this, you're able to actually go in there and, you know, use the money on these credit cards, credit lines. Okay, so if you have good personal credit, you could definitely do that. Now, our funding suite has thousands of different options and a lot. We've got 100 probably lenders that do just these kind of programs. But if you're out there not looking through our funding suite, if you're looking just on your own, you want to check with some of the big five. You know, you want to check with some of the conventional banks, your Bank of America, your Chase, your Wells Fargo. Don't even bother going in there unless you've got great credit for these kind of accounts. But if you do have great credit and you tell them, look, I want to get some business credit cards, you might have some kind of chance of going in and getting approved with some of these cards with decent limits. Again, our clients get up to $150,000. We get them approved through multiple sources. Clients outside of the funding suite, I haven't seen have that kind of success. They typically are lucky to get one or two of those kind of accounts with $5,000 limits or so, but there's still some money to be had with these kind of business credit cards, something for you to look into. Equipment leasing. Okay, over 80% of U.S. businesses use equipment lease financing to acquire equipment for their businesses. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Until I got into this, started working with business credit funding, I had no clue that most businesses that dealt with equipment were using some kind of equipment lease financing or equipment lease back or just, bottom line financing for equipment, but it definitely is out there. The majority of the population uses that. So this can also be used for office equipment. Again, something I didn't know until I started selling business credit funding. I always thought of equipment financing as tractors, right? Trailers and, backhoes. Heavy equipment. I never thought of it as small equipment, but in reality, it can be used for office equipment. So this pertains to us, okay? Because in the credit repair business, you're dealing with copy machines and fax machines and office equipment all the time. So keep in mind, there is equipment financing out there, equipment leasing that even works with office equipment. So this could help you start or grow or expand your business, and it could be used for starting a new business. So I list that because that means you could even be starting a brand new credit repair owner business and getting this. You don't have to be in business for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. You could be a brand new business and still get equipment financing. So something definitely look into. Securities-based financing. Pretty cool. Revolving lines of credit that are issued against securities such as stocks. So let's say you have a stock with Apple. Okay, you have stock with Apple. Did you know you could actually use that as leverage, use that as collateral, get business financing that borrows against those stocks? I didn't know that. Okay, and I'm telling you, I keep saying, I didn't know that, because remember, you're talking to somebody, I got 14 years of finance experience, and it wasn't until I was exposed to our business credit funding suite that I even knew any of this stuff existed. So I know, again, if 14 years of experience, if I don't know about it, a lot of other people don't either. But with security-based financing, if you do have stocks, you could definitely use that as collateral to get money. The interest rates are low. I mean, as low as 1.6% interest only. They'll typically lend up to 90% of the value of the actual security. Limited documentation required. You don't need to supply a bunch of extra documentation to get financing. Remember, a bank wants to see financials and tax returns and resumes and business plans and financials for every person that owns more than 20%. I mean, it's just insane what they want to see. But something like this, it's real limited income documentation, which makes it very easy to qualify. And most major stocks are accepted. Mutual funds, treasury notes, T-bills, corporate municipal bonds, all those kind of securities are actually accepted. Also brings me to 401k financing. You know, funding's available where you can actually borrow against your existing 401k. Now, it's funny because one of my clients came to me the other day and he had an accountant correct him and said, you know, you can't really borrow money for a business against a 401k. Yeah, you actually can. There absolutely are programs out there for 401k financing. What they do is they take your existing 401k, they roll it over to your existing business and then to your new business, and then your business where you own your business, now your business has a 401k plan, and that 401k plan basically buys stock in your company is the easiest way to explain it. Now, one of the benefits of why people love this is multiple business partners can do this and contribute to their business. A lot of people like that. A lot of our clients get it for this reason. They're starting a business. They got their brother, their cousin, their friend, their buddy, their business partner, and they both want to contribute some money and go in, and they don't know how to do it. Well, this works great in that scenario because both partners could borrow against their 401ks and could put money into the business if that was something they chose to do. Auto vehicle leasing, crazy. Didn't know you could do this in a business name, but vehicles can be leased in a business name, and all the leases can be obtained based primarily on business credit. Okay, so this means, you know, even if you've got credit problems, if you've got some business credit built, then you can also come in and qualify for auto vehicle leasing programs even as a credit repair owner. And multiple leases can also be obtained. That doesn't really matter to you. I mean, you're not going to probably want multiple auto leases in your business name, okay, but some people do. You know, if you're a plumber, if you're in the cleaning business, if you're in an air conditioning business, you have trucks on the road. So for one of your clients, hey, that's beneficial to know. If they're a florist, if they're in these businesses where they need vehicles for their business, well, to know they could get auto vehicle leasing in their business name, that's something most people don't know, and they absolutely can do it, and you could do it too as a credit repair owner. I love these. This is big. This is a good way to make money for business or for credit repair owners, because borrowing against future credit card sales, or what merchant advances are, it's big. I mean, think about it. I mean, you're in a credit repair business. Most people on this call accept credit cards. That was my big thing. I mean, that was what we did. We did a lot of money in credit card sales a month. Every single month, we did a tremendous amount of money in credit card sales. So because we had so much money in credit card sales, it opened up an opportunity for us to be able to borrow against those future credit card sales and get money. Okay, this can be secured with challenge credit. Very, very awesome to know. I mean, a lot of places go down to a 520 credit score. Right? Think about that. Imagine getting 50, 100 grand for your business with a 520 credit score, right? That's something your bank's not going to do, even if you're not in a high-risk industry. But surprisingly, you can do that with merchant advances. Even being in a high-risk industry, you can do it. And loans use past and current credit card history to determine the financing amount. I mean, it's really as simple as that. They ask for your merchant statements. You supply your merchant statements. They see how much you're consistently processing. They make sure you don't have an unacceptable amount of chargebacks on your history, and then they just use that to lend you money. That's awesome, okay? See, here's the problem. The problem with lending is banks need to see everything. Like I said, they need to see personal financials for everybody that owns more than 20% of the business. They need to see business financials. They need to see tax returns for 3 years. They need to see personal and business bank statements, resumes, business plans, blah, 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 blah. And there's so much stuff they look at okay, that, most banks are going to find a reason to turn them down. Okay, that's one of the reasons you see this whole big issue in the mortgage sector over the last 5 years. Everybody went stated income. Everybody did. Because a lot of lenders realize, man, it's just easier to go stated. And a lot of brokers realize it's easier to go stated. They might pay a little bit more, but the chances of approval are significantly better because there's no documentation supplied. And the more documentation you give to a bank, any broker will tell you the more things you have that can go wrong and the more reasons you have to turn them down. And that's why such a few percentage of people ever get approved for funding at their bank. And think about that statement. I mean, how many people do you really know in your life that have ever walked into a bank and walked out with a big business loan? Okay, I can tell you, I know one guy. That's it. The only person I could think of that's ever done that. And I talk to a lot of people. It's tough to do. Most people don't accomplish that. But with a merchant advance, if you have good credit card processing, that's all they look at. They just look at your credit card processing. They will look at your credit just to make sure you're not currently going into a BK or something like that, but they use your current merchant processing history to determine how much you're going to get approved for and whether you will get approved. Then a small portion of each future credit card sales goes towards repayment. Now, I'll tell you, you're credit repaired. You're higher risk, just like I was, which means that your terms on these aren't going to be low-risk terms. You might need to give back 15 cents or 25 cents out of every dollar you process until you get them paid back. But you could get up to $250,000 in merchant advances. You could get up to $250,000 in merchant advances if you have good credit card history and you're consistent with your credit card sales and not a lot of chargebacks. That's a lot of money to do. And you could get that money. They take a future percentage of your future credit card sales to get paid back, which is nice because if your future credit card sales drop in a month, your repayment terms also drop. Okay, so your repayment terms fluctuate with the revenue of your business, which also makes this really, really cool. And like I said, you can get loans up to $250,000. This was a program I qualified for. When I first got my business credit funding suite, I was qualified for big money on the merchant advance because I did big money in credit card sales. Okay, and that, again, surprised me because I didn't realize that, you could do that, especially in high risk, those type of things. Right now, our main merchant lender in the funding suite doesn't lend to high risk industries. We're working with them on doing so and adding some more that do. But it's a great, great way to get money. Another brilliant way to get money for your credit repair business is called revenue lending. Okay, revenue financing is a loan to a company which is paid back through a royalty on your actual revenues. And funding is commonly available up to 25% of your actual annual revenue. One big benefit of revenue funding is that, again, it provides variable payment. They take a portion of your funding or of your revenue as repayment until you pay them back. You can get loans up to $150,000, and all they do is look at your bank statements. Boom. That's powerful. That means if you have good bank statements without a lot of NSFs that show consistent revenue, you can get money for your business. Right? I've never even heard of revenue lending before, and this is so good for a credit repair owner because most of you have consistent good revenue coming in, and if you have consistent good revenue coming in and you don't have a bunch of NSFs on your bank statement, you are a prime candidate for revenue lending. Wrap financing. Financing up to $50,000, a lot of tax advantages. You gain exposure for your company without a large out-of-pocket cost, fast approvals, and multiple wraps are available. So what am I talking about with a wrap? You're looking at it down here. This guy took this van and wrapped it with his lawn care business info. That's what a wrap is. You've seen this. All these decals and graphics. They take graphics and wrap the whole vehicle in graphics. Well, that stuff can cost $2,500 to $10,000 to get done. So you can get financing for that. Many people don't know that. Okay, you could get money to wrap your vehicle, and that kind of turns your vehicle into a whole rolling billboard at that point. You could also get commercial real estate financing, $75,000 typically to $20 million. Owner-occupied conventional investment, hard money, bridge loans are all available, even for credit repair owners. Can be used for industrial, office, manufacturing, mixed use, auto dealers, daycare centers, assisted living, and more. So if you own commercial real estate, you could actually borrow and cash out. You could borrow against that real estate to get money. If you don't own commercial real estate, even as a credit repair owner, there's still financing out there to go out and buy commercial real estate. You could still get money out there to go out and buy actual commercial real estate, even being in a high-risk industry. Okay, so that being said, what I'd like to do now is just kind of introduce you to the actual business credit funding suite. Now, some of you on the call have already seen this before, but I want to show you this again, and I want to spend a little bit of time actually going through and showing you the kind of funding you can get through the system and giving you a little bit more exposure just to the types of funding that are actually available out there. Show them to you kind of with a little bit more description, a little bit more detail. Okay, so what you're looking at now is actually the business credit funding suite. Now, to tell you how this works, it's real simple. Our clients came to us and said, well, actually, I was one of those people, so let me take a step back. Me and you came to Citron and Dispute Suite and said, look, we all want to sell business credit. And, you know, the problem with it was me as a credit repair owner, when I tried to look into selling business credit, it was a whole nother industry. I had to learn something completely foreign to me. And, you know, I didn't have the time to do it. I was running a credit repair business. I didn't have the time to do it. I couldn't find somebody that was proficiently trained enough to do it for me either. So I was stuck. I wanted to offer business credit and couldn't. And then this brilliant gentleman I know named Michael Citron invented and came out with the greatest product that I've ever seen in my life, because what it does is it basically does it for you. It gives you the ability to sell business credit and offer it for your clients without doing anything. It's crazy. You do the work, the whole back end is managed for you. But see, there's a problem with business credit. The problem with business credit is people love business credit, but they don't want to wait the time. They want money right away, and they want the benefit of business credit. So what this system does is it's the only system in the world that really combines the two. First, we get a business owner money. Okay, then second, we help them build the business credit. Because look, they're going to be patient building the business credit if they have a bunch of money. So we figure we might as well get them a bunch of money first, even if they have a new business or challenge credit, whatever it may be, and then help them build the business credit. Now, this is all beneficial to you because if you do business credit with us, if you do enroll with us to sell this, not only do you have the system for your clients to sell, but you get one for yourself. Pretty awesome, okay? You're going to actually get your own funding suite for your business. And I told you in the beginning, this is where I learned everything I told you. I didn't know any of this funding was available until I got a funding suite for my business. And when I went through it for myself, I was pre-qualified for $450,000 in funding. It blew my brain. I mean, I didn't even know I was able to get any money, and here I am able to get $450,000 through this actual system I'm going to show you today. So if you do enroll and get with us with business credit, you get your own system for yourself. So I thought it might be something you want to see. Now yours looks a little different. You can change the colors just like you can in any credit portal. You also have your logo up here instead of this. But this is what you and your clients would see when you log in. You're looking at an actual dashboard here where you can come in, see little tips of the step that you're on. You can monitor the 6 steps of the business credit building process in short or in detail down here. You can see all the programs that you're going to qualify for and details of these programs that you're going to look at down here, and you can even monitor your business credit building in real time. It's the only system in the world that lets a client get free access to Experian credit monitoring. I'm not going to spend a ton of time jumping through the system today. I will point out some things, and I want to spend more time talking about the funding than anything else. You can see every step here comes with audio and video. In step 1, we walk you and the client through. Look, just to walk through, fill out an application, and make sure you meet lending guidelines. The truth is you and most of your clients have probably tried to apply at a bank or probably tried to apply for business credit and been turned down, and then nobody ever knows why. Well, we're basically fixing that. We're revealing the lender's secret formula right here. We're going to have you fill out an application, but the application's really unlike any app you've ever seen before, because at this one, we're actually revealing the lender's secret formula. We're telling you exactly what the lender's looking for. Okay, hey, you need to have a real physical address. Well, what if you don't? Well, one-click solution's then available. Okay, like for example, okay, I was actually at one time operating the business out of the home. I couldn't get funding that way. So I went in here in one click, and I personally myself got a virtual address set up through here, and then I was able to come in and get all kinds of credit funding. Now, I'd applied for money before and been turned down. I never knew why. Nobody ever told me why. Okay, but with this, it told me right away, and I hit my head on my forehead and I go, oh, man, this is probably why I was turned down. I never even knew about this. Well, that's what the system does. In step one, we tell the client exactly what the lender's looking for. If they don't meet the criteria, we help them with the solution right here. Okay, so that way, all the way through from their business entity to they have a fax or a phone number or a toll-free number or all those things we can help them do through the system if they don't have those things. Now, some things like 411, well, that's free, right? Doesn't cost anything for somebody to lend money or to get set up with 411, so we do that for them for free. Some things cost money. Phone number costs $9.95 a month. So what we've done is negotiate a wholesale rate down for them on a major company. Like this is Ring Central, I think. And what we're doing is connecting them with a company like Ring Central at a wholesale rate they'd never get anywhere. So not only are we giving them the solutions, we've already worked out a deal they couldn't get on their own, so they have the best solution, the legitimate company at the best price if they need to do that. Otherwise, like I said, things like 411 doesn't cost us any money, so we do that for them for free. So in step one, we're going to go through all aspects of their business, their website, their entity, their EIN, all of these things. Do they have credit card processing? We're going to ask them all these questions. They have licensing. We're going to help them through. Now, this system comes with a certified business credit coach. So when you use this for your business, you have a coach that helps you with all aspects of these steps. Okay, your clients will also have the same thing. The benefit there is you could sell the system and turn around and walk away. Okay, that means that you just make the sale, you walk away, and your clients would, you know, your clients come in and they're taken care of. They got business credit coaches calling them on a regular basis. They're calling the coach. They have a step-by-step system with audio and video. This means you make the sale and step out. Wow, it's amazing. I mean, if you think about that. In credit repair, what would happen if you just made the sale and you never had to do anything else or talk to that client again? You know, right? Okay, now imagine doing the same thing and making $2,000 to $3,000 in profit on that client. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, our clients are profiting $2,000 to $3,000. They sell the system, they profit $2,000 to $3,000. They step out, and our coaches take over. So there's no back end to manage. Now, this is why I really wanted to show you the system, though, because in step two, we get the money, we get funding. Okay, now this is what's brilliant. See, no other business credit system out there does this. All of them have the same problem. I was talking to a guy earlier today. He said, I have a business credit system now. And he said he charges $1,995 to his clients for him. And I asked him, I said, I only have one question for you. How long does it take your people to get money? And I'm laughing because his response, he wouldn't answer me straightforward. He tried to dance around. He said, well, you know, and I brought him back to the question. I said, look, simple question. How long? And he said, 9 months, 12 months. I said, your system's not even comparable to ours. Our clients are selling the same system for $2,500, $3,000, and our clients are getting money in the first 30 days. See, that's the problem. Business credit takes time to build. It means it takes time for somebody to get money. Through our system, the client gets money right away. The first thing we do is have them fill out an application in step one. In step two, we get them exposed to all those funding products that we told you about earlier in this presentation. Okay, and then some. The bottom line is a bank needs everything to be perfect to give somebody money. Good personal credit, good business credit, good financials, good revenue, good collateral. With our funding, they only need one thing. If they have good personal credit, great, they can get money. If they have good business credit built, great, they can get money. If they don't, we'll help them build the business credit so they can then get money. If they have some kind of collateral, purchase orders, account receivables, inventory, equipment, okay, 401k, stocks like I showed you, revenue like I showed you, credit cards, any of those things can be used as collateral to get them money. Okay, so even if they have, you know, I talked to somebody the other day, she was in the paint supply business, right? Good business, been open for a couple years, has money, went to her bank, got turned down, what do? I can't get money. Through our system, we got her $300,000. $300,000 when nobody else would give this lady money. That's the power of what this could do. Even somebody like me as a credit repair owner got pre-qualified for almost $500,000 because I had a good business. Okay, so the bottom line is this system can help you get money for your business, but it's also extremely powerful for your clients. Because even if they have credit problems, which again, let's be honest, you're in credit repair, most of them do, they can still get funding if they have some kind of collateral or have consistent revenue. Either way, they could still get funding through the actual system. So in step two, what we do is we ask them questions to find out what kind of assets, what kind of collateral they might have. We then render a decision of all the funding programs they're going to qualify for. Some of them we talked about, right? Utility vehicle finance, we talked about that. Unsecured financing. Merchant credit. So those are a few that we actually discussed. And the client can read through each program, can even listen to audio on each program. They even get a deeper description on each program, and then they can click to apply. Now check this out. I want to show you a couple of things cool. You see how all this information is already on this application? This is called auto population. This software does stuff that's so ridiculous, it's just ridiculous. And one of the things it does is when that client filled out that application in step 1, now every application they fill out in the future for funding and for business credit auto-populates. It's all done for them. Think about it. How much time does it save? Every funding program, every business credit, they don't need to fill out the full app. It's already filled out here for them. Then they hit submit, and what would happen is this application would actually go to their own certified funding advisor. So it doesn't go to the lender first. It goes to their own certified funding advisor, and their funding advisor gets on the phone with them and says, hey, what you looking to do? You know, and the guy says, I need 50 grand for this. And they say, okay, look, you own a credit repair business, you have credit card sales, you have revenue, you have this and this and this and this. Let's look at the best way to get you the money. It's actually, I think it's funny because you take somebody that goes into a bank that can't get any money, and now they're going through our system and getting so much money that we actually have to give them a dedicated person to help them understand all the money they're being exposed to. But again, it's not like we're reinventing the wheel here. 401k financing, revenue lending. This money has always been there. The problem is people don't know where to look. Just like me, I didn't know where to look. Okay, I had revenue, but I didn't know revenue lending existed. So how was I going to go find it? And when I found revenue lending companies, I didn't know who would work for me and my business. The system takes that person's data, pre-qualifies it against thousands of lenders, and automatically tells them who they qualify for. There's no guessing. The customer doesn't need to go looking for the money. They don't need to guess, will I get approved? The system does it all for them. It takes and says, tell me all about you. Tell me about your business. Okay, now here's all the money you can get for your business based on what you said. So the system does what no human could do, and as a result, this gives them access to more funding than they'll ever have and more availability to money than they'll ever have. Then, through the system, they begin the process of building business credit. So in step 3, we get them access to their credit reports. We first get them free information through Experian Smart Business. Okay, with Experian Smart Business, they can monitor how many trades they have, do they have a credit profile, score, inquiries, and all that's free. It's the only place on the planet Experian gives that free is in our system. The client can choose to enroll and pay for full monitoring with any of the 3, D&B, Equifax, and Experian. There is a cost for that, but again, they don't need to. They get free access to Experian. They don't need to get the full monitoring, but if they want to, they can. And we even get them a free DUNS number through the system also. If you don't believe me, call Dun & Bradstreet and ask them one question. How much will you charge me to get a DUNS number and activate my credit profile? They're going to tell you $700. Our clients get it for free. Crazy, right? Just with Dun & Bradstreet and Experian, the stuff they give to our clients for free is almost over $1,000. That means if a client didn't use our system, tried to go in and build business credit, just to get access to their monitoring through Experian that we give them at no cost, their DUNS number, to get those things that they get for free through our system, they pay over $1,000 to D&B and Experian. And in real time right here, they can actually monitor their business credit building. Okay, now let me show you something cool. You see this 545 trades? Maybe you can't. Might be small on your screen. Well, this person I have pulled up has 545 trade lines built. And you might laugh and go, yeah, that's obviously not a real person. Yeah, this is Walmart. This is Walmart. So if you think that only small companies need money, that's not true. There's a reason Walmart has 545 business credit trade lines. There's a reason most Fortune 500 companies use funding similar to what I'm presenting here. And the answer is real simple. The reason is because it helps them leverage their business. They can leverage this money and use it as collateral to help grow their business. And that's why even most major companies participate in business credit, do those things. So then we go through the process of building business credit. Step 4, we get them access to vendor accounts. These are accounts that will approve them even as a brand new business with no history. This is just to get them initial trade lines, get them initial scores. Things our system does that nobody else does, we actually give the underwriting guidelines for every program. It's ridiculous. We give the underwriting guidelines. So now we made sure their business was set up credibly to get approved. Now we're giving them the greatest selection of sources and giving them the actual underwriting guidelines, almost creating a scenario which are almost impossible for them not to get approved. And look at all these sources: Radio Shack, Sprint, CompUSA. In total, there's over 40 sources here, about 45 sources, and they only need 5. Okay, they need 5 accounts to start their business credit building, and we give them access to about 45. About 25 of these work for a brand new startup business. Once they do that, we bring them to step 5. And again, you get the same system for your business, so this is the same thing you're going to be able to go through too. And this is just reward. This is just credit cards at Staples, Office Depot. These are all these credit cards I was talking to you about. This is just a straight Visa card right here. These are all credit cards that are available. Walmart, Costco. Once you build the business credit, Amazon, Dell for 10 grand, Lowe's, Sears, cool. BP, Chevron, Sinclair, Speedway, and on and on and on and on. Sam's Club, Home Depot, Racetrack, gas cards, BP, that's just a MasterCard, just a MasterCard, just a MasterCard, just a fleet card. Okay, all of those are money you could get for your business once the business credit's built. Okay, so pretty clear. Step one, we make sure their business is set up credibly. Step two, we get them money. With some of the funding programs we talked about and a lot more we didn't mention because some of them don't apply to credit repair businesses. Okay, like purchase order financing or account receivable factoring. You don't really deal with purchase orders or account receivable financing. It's great for people that do. Even if they have bad credit, they could get that. Even with the 350 credit score, somebody could get purchase order financing. So there's a lot of funding available here for clients. Even with bad credit, they have some kind of collateral, or they have good credit, or they have business credit, or they have a guarantor. If they have any of that, we could typically get them money. Then in step three, we get them access to the business credit reporting agencies, get them a free DUNS number, free Experience Smart Business, saving them about $1,000. And then in step four, we get them their first 5 initial accounts to build their business credit profile and score. Step 5, they're getting actual real credit cards. In step 6, we come back to funding, just like we were in step 2, because now their business credit's built. So now they can start qualifying for even more funding without the personal guarantee. Okay, so right here in step 6, we get them access to more money, and there's all kinds of additional resources in here too, like business workbooks that teach them how to get money, all these type of things. Okay, so all in all, the most comprehensive system in the world to get somebody money for funding for their business and to also help them build the business credit. And that's really the power of this, is that you help them build a business credit profile and score for their business so they can get money without liability and without a guarantee. But before you even do that, you first get them money. And you have more access to money here, and they have greater chance of getting approved for money here than they do anywhere else on the planet. I mean, just undeniably, no questions asked. Okay, so taking a look at all of this, the Business Credit and Funding Suite, more funding and business credit sources than anywhere else. Only system which integrates directly with all 3 bureaus. Only system where clients can get a free DUNS number and Experience Smart Business Report. Only system with certified coaches for business credit and funding advisors. Certified coaches with both business credit and funding. And we give the client a $50,000 guarantee. Okay, so when you're selling this to clients, every client has a guarantee they're going to get at least $50,000 in money through the system. Now, in the training, we teach you how to target the people that have some kind of collateral or can get the money right away, okay? So that way, you're typically selling this to people that get this much money or more immediately in the first 30 days. But regardless, we still give that guarantee because through the funding, through the business credit, it's fairly easy for somebody to get $50,000. Even if they can't get the funding, they can still do this through business credit. But look, you're a credit repair owner, so let's talk about what really matters here. I mean, this got huge revenue potential. I mean, our clients are selling this for $2,500 to $3,500. Okay, and you can charge up front all day long. There's no regulation in this industry. And you're paying only $700 per funding suite you turn on, and that's charged 3 days after you make the sale. Okay, so what happens here is this $700 pays for the business credit coaches, everything that's associated with the system. You pay this, there's no surprise charges to you or the client. And this leaves you huge margin. Okay, so this means you can make massive income. Our average client's making over $2,000 to $3,000 in profit per sale. Even with the clients making monthly payments, they're doing 3 sales a month, making $9,000 a month with business credit, making only 3 sales. And that's taking into account that people are only making monthly payments. Okay, so there's a lot of potential here to make money with business credit because there is so much margin there in profit. And there's a lot of benefits to you. It's an unregulated industry. There's no problems with the state or federal agencies, the FTCs. There's no CROA, Credit Repair Organizations Act, okay? You can advertise and sell in other states. You don't need a contract. You don't need a surety bond. Business consulting is not a high-risk industry. Like credit repair, all of my bank accounts shut me down, merchant accounts. You don't deal with that. It's not a high-risk industry. You can charge upfront fees. Look, I'm going to do it again. You can charge upfront fees. Do it one more time. You can charge upfront fees. I'm the only person at CreditSuite that can say the word upfront because it's bad in the credit repair world and it's beautiful in my world. It's actually normal in funding to charge upfront. So you absolutely can do that in business credit. It's easy to advertise and market. Easy to cross-sell. Right here. This is where my business changed. Those 2 things. You see, my problem in credit repair was I advertised and nobody responded. I could not get people to respond to my advertisements. That's why most people don't advertise in our industry, let's be honest. Okay, but with business credit, I advertise a message, I have money for a business, everybody would respond. Let me give you a comparison. I did a lot of Craigslist. I would run 120 Craigslist ads and get one phone call. I would run 5 business credit ads and get one phone call. That is reflective of every media. No matter what media I tried, I had to do a bunch of money, a bunch of this to get any response for credit repair. I did a little money, a little of this for business credit, and got massive response. Plus, a lot of my clients needed credit repair, and a lot of my credit repair clients needed business credit. So it was easy to cross-sell both products to the clients. Massive high-value service because you're making $2 to $3 grand profit in the sale, and there's no back end to manage. So it's easy to earn huge profits. Okay, plus we give you everything you need to market the business. We give you articles, email drip campaigns, basically a business in a box to basically promote and get started with business credit. So if you want to learn more about getting started, this is where you go, businesscreditexpert.com. You can also call me, 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487, or email me at ty@disputesuite.com. Remember, when you enroll, you get your own funding suite for your business. That's why I wanted to show you that kind of money that's out there for a credit repair owner, because that's all the kind of money that's available in the system and money you're going to be exposed to. So it's a really good opportunity to do something for your business and also then have the availability and access to go in and help your clients get money for their business and build business credit and really, really create another income stream for your business. So go there now. Check it out, businesscreditexpert.com. That's where you'll go and check it out and get a lot of information about enrolling. They have 3 different enrollment plans. Everything you want to know is right there, and you can give me a call or send me an email with any questions.